everybody. Thank you for joining us today. Welcome to Love Talk. Today we have Sophia Squire. Sophia is singer, songwriter, composer, and producer, and it's just an honor to speak with her. Let's see how she's doing. Thank you for joining me today. It's an absolute honor to have you on my platform, Sophia.
No problem.
First of all, before we even get, you've got such a musical career. I really want to dig into it. So before we get into it, let's please promote the song you've got, Vibe So Nice.
Right, and it was produced by Dancehall Records in France.
Yeah.
Actually, Paris. Yeah.
So how did that all come about?
They just found me on the internet. Simple 1, 2, 3. I guess they heard something about me before, and then they say, you know what, let us try working with this artist, and that's how it came about.
So let's start from the beginning. Where did you grow up?
Right. I grew up in Spanish Town, St. Catherine, Jamaica, West Indies. That's it all. 5 sisters, 2 brothers. Dad and mom. My mom isn't here. She's not dead, but she isn't here. And that's how I was raised in a large family. So that's where it really came about. My mom used to play the guitar. Daddy used to sing. Now and then he's still not used to, he still does now and then. So that's how the musical talent was born, I would say.
Yeah. But then reading your biography, when you wrote so many songs, but you wouldn't tell anybody about them, or you wouldn't sing in public.
To me, back then, ABC lyrics, I love you, you love me, kind of way, 1, 2, 3. And I didn't want anybody to hear because I thought it was kind of really silly. But then, you know, one day the band, the Rhythm Kings, it's an old band from Jamaica, Bully, and he told me that, let me hear your song. And I'm saying, sure, my heart a beat extra fast. I'm going to laugh, it's stupid, blah, blah, blah. Then I said, what's the worst that could happen? And then him say, it sound good. And I'm like, really? I didn't know. And I would if I didn't try. So, you know, they hear one and they start to hear something again, and you kind of build the confidence, say, hey, you can't help yourself. You can't help yourself. And that's how it came about. Right.
So, when you started doing that now, where did the performances come in? Because I know you were signed quite early, right?
No, I actually, so I started doing background vocals for Gregory Isaacs, and that was a link when I was doing a recording for myself. I met a particular drummer, and you know, he came on the session and he knew me and my personality. She kind of quiet. So when I went to meet up with Gregory Isaacs through another friend of mine, he remembered when he said, I know her, she's quiet. And Gregory didn't hear me sing, or if I could even know if I could sing. And he said, yes, I'll take her. All right. Just like that.
I'm getting to that part there because
no audition, no, let me hear what you have, no, let me see what your stage performance get. Nothing.
Okay, before we get to that, because that's a story in itself.
Yes.
The drummer that you met, did you meet the drummer at Miami Vice recording studios?
No, I didn't meet him. There's so many people out. I think I'm kind of having things a bit jumbled, but that drummer I met at another studio when I was trying to do recordings for myself. But that at Miami Vice.
Morrison.
Pardon?
Was that Rudolph Morrison?
Rudolph Morrison is at High Fence recording. That's the second studio.
Yeah, the High Fence.
Right. But the drummer, no, I met him before that. I met that drummer before that. But with Rudolph Morrison now, that High Fence recording where they released about maybe 2 or 3 songs then, but I still had a lot of recordings because the minute I have an idea, I would go to the engineer and say, hey, listen to this. Because the head is always writing whether I like it or not. I don't plan to write. I be just vibing with you here right now. And then an idea come to me and I take my pen and my pencil and I scratch it down and I record it because that's how music come about, really.
Yes. Okay. All right. So I want to get it in order, right? So because I know you was already in a girl group as well, right?
Yes, I'm jumping out a bunch of stuff. Black Silk, yeah, we tried it. There were 3 other females, Bully from Rhythm Kings, who I met at Miami Vice Studio, which is the first studio.
Okay.
He organized and said, hey, you girls, why don't you come together and form a group? I'm like, okay, no problem. And then we would be doing, we targeted doing weddings, funerals, just whatever to get, right. But then again, the girls, they're all good ladies, but they said like, you do the lead. I said, no, I don't want it because I wanted the group to feel equal. I wanted us to feel equal. You that do that part, your voice is good at that part and stuff. But then it never worked out. I guess, you know, 4 different personalities. Not that we had any arguments, nothing like that. We had our lives to live and ventured elsewhere. But I stuck into music. So when I realized that wasn't working, that's how I ventured and said, you know what, I have to do something to keep, because recording my songs and putting them down for me alone to play and hear them, and two friends will say, hey, that's really good, won't help. So I went out to get linked with Gregory Isaacs. That's how I linked up with Gregory Isaacs to do background vocals.
Let's go into the Gregory story, because I really want to hear about that. Now, you spent 5 years working with Gregory and touring with Gregory, right?
Yes.
And like you said, you didn't need to audition for him or anything like that. Okay, so how, like you said, he said, yes, I'll take her. And then what happened? How did it work out?
Okay, the first show I will never remember. Sometimes I can't remember the years, but I remember the places. It was St. Martin. So the first thing he said, all right, this is what I will pay. I was like, okay, no problem. And he went in his pocket. He took out half of my deposit, and I was like, wait a minute. He don't know me. He doesn't know me, you know? But, you know, your character speaks volume. That's it. That's all I have to say right here. Character speaks volume. So he told me what I would get paid, and then I said, all right, what about rehearsals? I need to know the songs. I grew up learning Night Nurse and all of those Cross the Border song. I know those. I hum them. That's how I learned harmony. Just listen to the radio, because he said that that's the first thing that I need to do is do rehearsals. So I said, will you be coming to rehearsal? He said, no, I know my songs already. You need to know them. I said, okay, no problem. And I got a cassette, not a CD, not a thumb drive, a cassette. And I had to go home, and I had to do it so quickly, because I think the show was coming up in a week or two. And you know that as a woman, you have your other responsibilities. So I play it while I'm doing my chores and stuff. And I said, I know the chorus for this already. Just skip that part, learn what he said in the verse here, bam, 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 and do it. And when I went on the plane for the first time, going with Gregory Isaacs, and then we landed, and I saw the reception at the airport. He took off his hat first. I didn't know why, when we were in the customs line. And we're like, oh, Gregory Isaacs. And I'm like, there, okay. Mr. Isaacs, are you okay? Is everybody okay? We had to reprint some tickets. They were sold out, and my eyes were like this, that, there, all over the place, because the whole excitement. This is my first reggae show. Anyway, we went to the hotel and all of that, and the venue, and you're always prepped as to what to do, what not to do. Yada yada. First show, when we were on there, the background vocalist and the band member is out first, and we're there doing our little dance moves, our little moves, whatever. And while on stage and he's singing, and believe me, whatever part we miss, nobody knew, because I just fill in spots, even with what wasn't there. Yeah, I'm trying to act professional here, and this is my first gig. I don't know if I'm to do this or that, but I just move with the crowd. And it was well received. The crowd, I think it was a festival in St. Martin, so very well. He's witty, always giving some silly jokes and stuff like that. You have to kind of be there to know him. If for me, speaking about him is one thing, but when you're there, trust me, man, it's a belly full. So that was the first show.
I had the opportunity of meeting him once.
Yeah.
Because I used to work when I was young. I was about 17, and I worked in a rehearsal and recording studio in London, voluntary. Okay. Yeah, it was a part of my first. I started there. It was a work experience as part of my college course, and I fell in love with the place. I ended up on reception. I ended up answering the phone, start full of invoice, and so I ended up being up. And then I started setting up the drums for Macphair and Floxy and all of that. So that's how that's how I met him. But obviously Gregory Isaacs walks in, and then 100 other people just, Gregory. So yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, everybody see Gregory. I say, oh, that's the singer Gregory Isaacs. Oh, but we are in that other place. We were like, oh, Gregory, and I'm like, okay. I've only seen this with Michael Jackson thing on TV. I never know it would happen to my artist. So of course we feel proud to know that reggae. You represent reggae, so you feel proud to know them actually are rushing. Yeah.
And I tell you a little story. He was late that day, right? So yes. Obviously he did, but he was late. But Kevin, his son, Kevin Isaacs, was there.
I remember Kevin.
And the Rough Cut band, they were trying to catch the melodies and stuff, and they just wanted somebody to sing. So they was they're waiting and getting restless. And they says, nobody no words for the song so we can just practice.
Yeah.
And somebody pointed to Kevin. And Kevin was like, yeah, but he was so quiet and withdrawn. He was really, Kevin, he was really quiet. And the second he came on the microphone, I don't know if you ever managed to hear him sing, but
I heard him. He's
like,
good. He's
when I heard it, look, I normally get goosebumps, cold bumper come up on my face. When I heard him for the first time, it's like Gregory in a new generation, that clear and clean, crisp.
Yes, that is true. That is true.
It was so.
He's a lot of vibes. Gregory's a lot of vibes, and I must say this: he's a very fair person because I've done a bunch of local shows where there, and us as ladies, we get our little pay, whatever we get. If he's stopping by to spend, he said, no, don't take from your pay. I'll buy it. I'll do the buying. Make sure you're on time. If you want anything to eat, you eat already. Your kids good, all right, this. And the other thing too, he always makes sure that we're home. I'm coming from the airport. I'm there, calling to get my taxi. He said, what you doing? He said, don't do that again. I am responsible for you. And I was like, okay. You understand, I've never been in such a position. He said, no, don't do that. Anybody's taking you at the office, I'll take you to the office, then pick you up at the office, so at least I know who took you from where. That's it, a man of principle.
No, and that's very good of him. And because he knows that he's your responsibility, you jump in a taxi and go along somewhere and nobody don't know where you are. He's responsible. True. He's gonna feel away, So
right.
That's really nice. That's a nice story to tell. Well done.
It is.
So how did that wrap up now? You done 5 years. It must have been a very heartfelt moment when it was time to.
It was. The last show I did with Gregory was in Brazil. That was another crazy thing again, because I remember when we went there again with the hat signature. And then when we went on stage, I remember I was wearing red, green, and gold Rasta color and my leather jacket and all tucked up. And while on stage, there were people running up and, security was throwing them. And I'm like, I paused for a quick second, like, their feet, don't do them like that. And then, pay attention to what you're doing. Pay attention to what you're doing. And you're, and whatever you're doing. And there was this one lady, I think she was like an FBI or something. She just started to say, oh, I'm not going to run up like that. And when we were exiting the stage, she ran straight on the stage right through where we were going. And when the securities were about to grab her, he said, no, leave her alone, leave her. She was like, oh, it's like that. So, and she was in tears. And I'm there looking at her because all I see is a female like myself. I don't care about the language barrier. And I don't want them to be roughing her up and throwing them off in the crowd or anything like that. So she was there and she was really pleased to meet him. She was literally crying. I think I have photos of that, from those kind of, not the digital that you can.
No.
It was really nice. It was really, really, really nice working with him. That was the last. I think from then, no, he wasn't having much show then. And again, music is my talent, so I have to venture. So after that 5 years now, I start to venture out and do my own little thing here, do my own little thing there. But I have a cousin. She was working at a club. So she met Kiprich. So she gave me the number and said, I got a number for you, call him, it's Kiprich manager, see, I don't know what can happen and whatever. I said, no problem. I called him. He said, you sing whatever, what do you have, to prove so you can sing? I have a couple of the recordings that I did from High Fence, which is Busher, right, Rudolph Morrison. When I let him hear it, him say, you sound all right. I don't have anything bad to say. I mean, I'm not Celine Dion. I don't want to be Celine Dion. But he said, you sound all right. I said, cool. Then I got another gig to work with Glenn Washington in Trinidad for the weekend. And right before that, he gave me a rhythm from Shane Brown, who used to manage Busy Signal. He said, so what you can do to this rhythm? And I got the rhythm, who had a studio at home, a little home studio, and I recorded it. And I said, tell me if you like this song, because I'm amongst the big leagues, I can't write the ABC song and think that it's, okay. I said, tell me what you think. And right about as I was in the customs line to go to Trinidad, he called and said, yo, song body blah, 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 yo. Can I come record it? I say, no, I'm going to Trinidad. I'll be back in 3 days. You sure? Sure, yeah, come back. I say, yeah, I'm come back, And upon returning, that was the first song I did, for Shane Brown, Big Yard, via Brady, a song called Bloody Murder. Went like this. Every time I hear gunshots fire, I know it really gets to my head. And it was easy to pen because I do hear gunshots fire. And you don't like it because there's a fear, no matter how much you hear it, there's still fear. That's how it came about. And then now Freddie became my manager. That's how we became. Yeah.
All right. So we've already just spoken just a few moments, and you've mentioned so many international
Yes.
gigs, right?
Yes.
You're a mother, to my understanding, right?
Yeah, my mom, that's another story, but wherever she's, God bless her heart, she's my inspiration because she was the one who used to play the guitar while I was sitting down. You know, like how back in the day we sit and fold our legs like a yoga style.
Cross.
We sit there and do it. And I always dream, I will never forget this, dream singing two songs, Lean on Me and Amazing Grace. And I'm always singing it in a crowd. Never wondered why. Because I mean, you're not thinking about it. It's just a dream, a recurrent dream. But I realized it stopped when I ventured into music. It stopped when I ventured into music.
What stopped?
Always.
Oh, you mean the guitar playing?
Come to me. Yes, keep on singing Amazing Grace or Lean on Me. I don't know why. Because there's so many things that are unexplained that nobody can explain.
I know. All right. You know what? Thank you for sharing that with me because obviously that's not in your biography. I wouldn't have known.
It's not. So many things can be, I mean, it's life. And sometimes you sit and you remember an event and you're like, why didn't I put that in? So thank you for reminding me, to hide that part as well, because it's important because who is in a position, similar to yours may say, maybe that's what I need to do since I'm seeing this all the time. Maybe that's what I need to do. We inspire people, that much I know.
Now, Amazing Grace. It's a song very close to my heart. I was gonna ask you if you could sing one verse or two lines of it, please, if you don't mind.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved an angel. I'm not going to call myself a wretch. But no, that song is very powerful.
Thank you.
It's emotional as well, because if I sing it, sometimes I realize I'm like tearing up inside. I'm like, no, don't do this. You're on stage. You're singing. It's very powerful.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Anytime.
Now we've saying that, and we've actually and we've mentioned gospel now. What does reggae mean to you? How would you define reggae? What does it mean to you?
I define reggae, I mean, so many different ways, but I always look at it as freedom, free to express yourself. If you notice, even our language, Jamaican, what you are doing, it's just like, I don't care. So just express the song the same way. And I'm actually, even though I can do R&B, I can do jazz, blah. If you test me and tell me to do it, I'll do it. But I'm going to represent reggae 100% because that's what I am. Reggae. It's freedom. It's the voice of the people. So many things it stands for. So that's what reggae is to me.
And I asked, I interviewed Richie from Third World not too long ago, and I asked him a similar question, and he gave, because I said to him, like, Third World music, when they was first on the scene, back in the 70s, nobody couldn't really define their music, and they call it a fusion, and I just said, to me, it's not, I wouldn't call it a fusion, but when I listen to the individual instruments, I realized that each member has freedom and they are free on their instruments.
Right.
And I put it to him, I said to him, that's what I think that's where the magic is in your music. Do you agree? And he agreed, to my surprise. Well, not really, because I kind of hear it, but
but you're coming
from them. And so for you to say a similar thing, no, say you have it.
All right, simple. It's just like the song that the slaves used to sing back in the day. Was it the slaves? Swing low, sweet chariot. That song, it from the heart. You can't just sing that song. You have to sing the song.
And when you know the story about the Underground Railroad.
Exactly. Yeah. It brings a lot of tears to your heart before it even reaches the eyes. But but so many people have to sacrifice sacrifice of our forefathers is for us to be living like this now, to be able to be video talk. We couldn't do it back then. I remember back years ago when I wanted to call my mom abroad, I had to go up in the town, join a line to even talk to her. No, come on. Everybody has a mobile phone almost. So
right. I was gonna bring you to that. As far as you have children, right?
I have 2 kids.
You have 2 children. So they was young when you first started your career.
My daughter, yes, she was there in the initiative because they are years apart. Okay. My son is 9 and my daughter is 28.
Yeah. So how was it for you being a mother?
That's a challenge because I remember hearing other people saying, you know, women can be lazy in the music, and I'm always, if I'm not invited to be a part of a conversation, I don't like to jump in and, you know, be rude. But most of us women, we're not lazy. We are mothers. We're the nurturers. Make sure the kid is fed. Make sure going to look after him is there. Before we actually leave, so we have our hands a bit more full. Especially being a single mother back then. If you have, you know, if it's a partner thing, it can work out differently. So as ladies, most of us, we're not lazy. We're just hardworking, hardworking nurturers who is venturing into music. And remember, you know, the child comes first, my music comes first, this comes first, but there's no anything going back. So all of them, we have to put 100% in it.
And how is it? How does, now that your daughter's big now, how does she enjoy your music?
Oh, my son knows my music before I even. The thing is, I remember I played a song that he doesn't know that I recorded before he was born. And I played it and he said, "Mommy, you sing that, right?" I said, "Yeah." I didn't even ask him why. Obviously he knows. Because when I was pregnant with him, in Rock and Camille. So I remember years after he was born, he was a baby. I was taking him to the studio 6 months, 8 months. And while I was doing that dub plate for a song, I was singing Rock and Camille, Rock and Camille, on the sea, baby. And then when there was an artist in there, Brandon McCoy, he said, "Squire, sing the song, maybe I look at total different way, like he know the song." I said, he knows it. From Tommy days, I was writing it, singing it, performing it, everything. He was totally looking a different way when he heard that particular song. I don't know why, another unexplained. Just appreciate it and love it. That's it.
Music itself is powerful. And
pardon?
Music itself is very powerful.
Very.
And sometimes I wonder if there's a special brain cell where you have when music just store itself there, you know, and make an appearance when it's ready.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
I was doing an I'm sorry to cut you. Oh, no. I was in an interview and they were talking about you said brain cell. I think there's like a muse that travels around with me because I'm here with you and an idea will just be lodged here. Hey, go write this, do this. And I'm like, in a minute, no, do it now. It's like it's nudging me. I'll get up 2, 3 in the morning, anytime. So music comes to me anytime. And you know what I do? I invite it, I appreciate it. Because if I say, no, not at this time, it's going to be, okay, all right, fine. I'll go find somebody else. So I invite it and it's always with me and always will be.
Yeah, definitely. And that's why it resonates with your son so much. He remembers.
Exactly.
And, you know, exactly. And sometimes even you can even start singing a song and you don't know, you never know that you didn't memorize the words. You didn't know the words. Sometimes you don't even know where you heard the song.
True. You yes, that's the subliminal memory. That's it. Yes.
Yeah. So, okay. Yeah. So with you writing your own music, singing backup for legends such as Gregory Isaacs.
Gregory Isaacs, Max Romeo.
Pardon?
Even Max Romeo too.
I was going to say, we haven't touched on half of the collaborations that you've done so far in your career.
I think people kind of just look at me like, all right, I've all of this thing under your belt. Why don't you act a certain way? I'm just being human. When I go out, I don't have to do the extras. Oh, I'm an artist, so I need to look like this at all times. I said, no, you know why? This is my opinion. I want people to see that I'm a person. I don't always have to be ready with the makeup.
Right.
I can go out in public, you know, oh, she have a scar there. Okay, cool, that's her. I want people to see me. So if I do make know me either way, you know, with and without and stuff. So I can't, in life, you can't always be prepared. So I want people to see that I'm not perfect. Yeah, sometimes I have this dragging around. Yeah, I do it just like you. I'm human. So expect it at all times. Because if what social media brings to you in is perfection, it doesn't exist. It doesn't.
It does not. Everybody, they're gonna find the perfect lighting, the perfect dress, the perfect makeup, the perfect camera, and they're not gonna put up a picture if they don't think the picture is perfect or it doesn't look as if they want people to see. You know. So
that is true.
Speaking about social media, okay, so I understand that you want to be free and you want to have be yourself, right? Looking at your Instagram account, yes. you do so much motivational. You have motivational quotes on your social media account, right? Yes. What was the thinking there? Why have an account that doesn't really let people know that you do music? Is it for that same reason you just want to be a normal person on social media?
No, I mean, during that time I noticed there was a lot of, I was even talking to my manager this morning, you know, there's a time I was just putting a bunch of positive quotes and stuff, but that was my storm and I had to use something to keep me afloat. That was just my storm. Because I don't want, even though people need to know the real me and stuff, I don't need to show them the real graphic side to let them, you know, okay, all right. Whenever you're ready, you can share a story that this is what I went through. I went through this and, you know, you do an interview and tell them that it's fine. But when you're going through a storm, sometimes you have to be careful what you put out because you don't get it back. So you say, you know what, let me keep myself motivated. God is here, he's always here with me. You know, I have to, inspirational quotes. Oh my, I love them so much. Every day I have one, every day. I love reading them. If there's a book there, I'm going to be venturing in the book and go, no, this looks nice. I have to copy this. Boom, that's me. So, you know, we have all of our storms. And in the midst of the storm, I will smile. Yeah. I have an interview to do. I'm going to smile. Yes, I'm fine. Even though the storm is blowing away the PC. Oh, wow, nice wind for your hair. I say, yeah, cool. It's the storm blowing it. It's the storm blowing it, but you have to keep afloat. You have to put that, to show people stuff. I'm pushing forward. I'm pushing forward.
Yeah. All right. So that in itself, you know, the strength, you do show a lot of strength, and I think for me, I learned something. Well, I kind of know it, but I learned something from another artist, a very, very young artist, just starting out. Yeah. And he told me at the end of the interview that he's writing a book, a musical career guide, you know, to help artists. And his kind of slogan is success over popularity.
Hype. Yes.
Right. And you seem to be that picture because you're successful in your own right. You know, you've done successful things. You're successful, but yet you don't have to be that front runner, always the face of social media or the face of what you're doing, right?
Again, that is true. I always discuss that in terms of you don't need to have 1 million views to be known. You don't need it. You don't have to have 1 million followers to be known. You just want that circle that accepts you as, you know, cool. She's Sophia Squire. I know the type of music she'll go, yeah, I feel kind of down. Let me just listen to one of her songs, inspire me and stuff like that. When people tell me that, well, you know, listen to something and inspire me, I'm like, I remember that song. It was produced by Max Romeo. And I went to a particular place in Spanish Town and I did the song. They asked me to pass through because if you ask me to do 50 million shows, if it's free and I can do it, I'm going to do it. I have no problem. It's like, I'm the type of person who will make nothing trouble. And then, you know, did the song and whatever not. Years after I met a young lady and, you know, we were talking and she said, you don't even know you inspire me to write the song. And I said, what? She said, the day when you sing Ratatat, I was in the audience and she wrote a song from that name, These Wars. Her name is Empress Roberta, Golden Voice. I appreciate other singers. I love other singers. And that's one of the things too, as musicians. If they call me and say, we need another singer, I'm going to call one of my sisters. I don't want to hear, say she did that or that. I don't care. I'm representing, I'm bringing another singer. You speak for yourself. I can only give an account for myself, not you. That's it. Because sometimes in society, I think we tend to quick to highlight the bad about people.
Yes.
You know that he did this and he did that and he did that too. Wow. And he did that too. Very bad. Very bad. And there's just one voice saying, what about that he did? If you continue to inspire him, maybe he will change from all the bad that you're talking about. We don't know. Never know.
Spread the love. Spread the love.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Always work from the love angle. If you always fixated on the negative, that's what you're manifesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how.
Sometimes we have to push each other down. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And what you said right now is very, very encouraging and inspirational, because what you said was that you're gonna call one of your sisters. Yeah, which means you're gonna call another colleague within the musical industry to fill the space that was needed to be filled. You know, you're not gonna pretend like you alone can eat.
There's no way.
So with you saying that now, and with you mentioning, did you know that she did that? Did you know she did that the other? How do you find the music industry? Because you seem to gel yourself and you maneuver with it really, really well. Like you're very grounded. So how do you find the industry? Was it something that you had to learn, or is it just a personality that allows you to have that freedom within the industry?
I want to sum it up as life. Lessons I've learned, what I've seen with other people. You know, I will see this event happening to a particular person, and I'm kind of wondering, maybe if he had done that, it would come out this way. If she had done that, it would come out this way. And then that's my writing skill right there. Learning how to, you know, turn a lie into truth, turn a truth into a lie, because it's writing. It's fiction, we know. And what we have as fiction, it's really facts for somebody else. When you're writing a song to the depth and you feel it in certain way, you know, another person, like, it's coming like she wrote the song for me. I was doing a song, I don't remember, me no know, you no know, or whatever. Anyway, the song was saying, I'm a single mother with 3 kids, you see, overworked, underpaid with no benefits. 3 kids to maintain and a simple thing. When the needs arise, you're born to try anything. When I was singing the song, a lady come around and said, I felt everything. Remember that I'm not a single mother with 3 kids, you know. I was a single mother with 1 child.
I was going to ask
I can relate. I can relate. And I am good at story writing. I remember going into school, I'm really good at that. And I said, all right, this is what it was for. Now she was feeling everything. And there are certain songs that I think that like, I say, I tremble or what. But it's like something from the toe come up in the tummy, and it just a give a vibe, says sing it like a you would happen to. When you can become that character on stage that you're singing about. You're singing about plants, and you can say the herbs and the trees, and you pretend like you're the tree. You have some people looking at the stage like this. And then not even realize how they are locked into you. When you can have a direct connection with the audience. Don't watch the clap and the pull up on the connection, direct connection, when you can relate to them. That's how reggae music, come about with the word freedom. Relatable topics. Me talk about single, many single mothers are out there, I fight it. And you decide to take it up in hand and put it in a song. And them you're right about, and them love it, and them, you mean, pull it up. And you're getting popular. So we have to thank them. Them are the one who pull it up. We have to thank each and every one. Okay. We don't have the time to do so, but we have to try.
But in saying that, and just speaking about the lyrics, I was saying to myself as well that I need more females, like.
Yes.
Like, I need more females.
That's true, like a swarm of bees. I'm tired to tell my manager this. He probably can't tell you. I want to say, a show when you look female outnumber male for once. Because if you're going to do a real cultural festival and say female festival, and we're talking about Jamaica, we're not supposed to say only that alone. We're supposed to have and say, yo, we have to try cut down, we have too many.
Say that
because it's like a crab in the barrel mentality. Who me girl want to go sit for stage for do one, me tell her for do one song and she can come to 2. Am I show, No, it's not. No, it's your show, but it's her moment. Make it. Things are in its time and place, and we know that.
We're gonna put it out there right now. Sophia McKay, we want a female show, an all-female stage show.
Yes, all female.
You heard
if
it
it's
here.
cultural, Yes, cultural and dancehall, that's fine because we love, regardless of the fact that some dancehall lyrics are explicit, which I won't do. I'm not going to knock a person and say, oh, you should do this. Leave that person, you never know what they can do to elevate somebody else, regardless of that.
Yeah.
You know, so you stand for what you stand for, they stand for what they stand for. But that's
Right.
not me.
No, like I said, this has been an ongoing conversation.
It will.
And it will be, and it will continue to be as people grow older and experience different things.
Yes.
Right. And even me myself, I must be honest, coming into the interviews, that was kind of one of my first things I wanted to knock on the head, because I didn't want to keep interviewing people, and if I had a problem with a line in their song, or I just want to be honest. So I would ask about the music, right? So I've spoken to even I've had an interview with Macca Diamond. Yeah.
Yes.
And even I asked her the question, how is lyrics? And she said, I wouldn't tell nobody to stop doing it because it worked for her. And then I started thinking, I started listening, and then I started speaking to more of the elders in the business. I've spoken to several, and they're saying, let them express themselves. Let them be, it will come to fruition, and then there's others saying, there's an era where you get a whole heap of explicit lyrics, and then before you know it, another reggae era will come. So
because at the end of the day, I'm sorry again, at the end of the day, we're not going to be judged by all the songs that you did. It's going to be all judged about how you lived, or you lived with the person next to you. Because this particular dancehall artist shows his her skin, blah blah, she's vulgar and whatever not, but yet still when it comes to people, they can say, who she? I'm my girl, that man, women never have no food, she give me food to put on my pot. So if you're going to be the judge, what are you going to do? Judge her based on what she do to herself, or based on what she has done to help
right
people?
Right. And
so that's one of our things. I think we all are probably guilty at sometimes look at that, but whatever. Sometimes we have to put our head back in check and say, pay attention to you. See what you can do better yourself. Look into the mirror instead of pointing out what he has done, she has done. Look at yourself. See what you can do to change something. It doesn't matter. I don't think it's too small. If you help just your neighbor one time, and that was 10 years ago, don't think it's unnoticed. Don't think so. Because you never know. You never know, the ball keep rolling and say, this kindness, because you did it so, because you did it purely from the heart, this is your reward. I'm like, just for that, I gave $1 and I'm getting a bit, oh my
gosh. That's life. And even just to round up that conversation about lyrics, I'm like I said, I've been thinking about it a lot. I've been really researching it a bit. And even though sex is a part of music. It just is, right? Sex and love, it's a part, and it goes to every genre, every genre. It doesn't stop. And my hypothesis, or my observation, is that dancehall gets the beating.
Yes.
But I think it's the physical dancehall, the dances. When you see the girl, I said fire up.
Yeah, there's a lot of craziness that goes on that I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah.
You should own.
It's there, but it's there. I mean, if anybody should knock and say we don't like the sex in the lyrics, I said, oh, you think you came about on Earth?
Yeah.
Think you were created like a machine? That we have younger and more impressionable kids nowadays. Not like back in our days when you're out on the road late and a lady next door beat you. You better make sure your mom don't find out that she beat you, because you're going to get a double dose. It's not like that. No, it's not like that. So what we need to do is uniform it a little bit more. So have it PG rated, so if my youngest kids are going on the internet for, to see them, it doesn't pop up on their screen. So make it even like that. So if the adult is on, they can do whatever and venture in whatever you want to. But everything is just out of place. It's just jumbled.
It really is. But the internet gives everybody this freedom anyway, right? So it gives them freedom to upload, and it gives them freedom to watch.
Yes.
And I think as well, we have to remember that God don't make a mistake, and human beings were born to evolve. He didn't. Human beings evolve, and with experience becomes time. I mean, you can have somebody that's I'm not gonna call no name because I don't want nobody to think.
Right.
But you can have somebody that a male or a female making like explicit lyrics, and they're going on way into their 40s and 50s, they're still making these lyrics, but at some point they either realize they have to hand over the baton, or they decide that, you know, I'm not gonna go so deep anymore. And it's just life evolves, and you never know the beautiful or the different type of music that they can come out with after that, you know.
I would sum it up as their journey. That's it. Their journey. I would sum that up as their journey. So with that journey that they have now, there's somebody that they're going to sit with and talk with, that they need to give that story to, that will inspire them. So it's so sad to know that some of us are pavers. I have to do all of this work, and you know, for you to be a little more free. But you have your beat to move it on and on and on, you know, just like that.
Reggae is like the blueprint to music in a way, right? So
yes.
So reggae will continue to evolve, and it will continue to have its eras, and it's you know, it's gonna have the conspiracies, and it's gonna have the inspirations and everything in one, because it is the foundation, right? So
it is. I like when people come together, but the thing is, you know, it's so sad that when in death or something, you know, really tragic happen, you know, we come together and say, John, oh, this shouldn't happen. I'm like, this should be the come together for the prevention. But sometimes we kind of wait until it's, you know, it's too late.
Right.
Because everybody's watching everybody. It only takes one person, you know, takes one person to get up and say, it's not written on the somebody say, yeah, man, not true matter, man. And then the group of us come together and do that. But the only thing that we don't like is the violence against women overall, not just in Jamaica. It's overall certain things that are really out of place. So that's what we should be focused on. We're talking about the music. The music is one aspect. We can probably say, hey, tone it down or cover it up a little. We didn't say stop.
Right.
But the violence is what we should make, you know, allowed. The violence against women. See, what can we do? What can I do as an artist? If I sing a song, how many of you, these trackers, will play it and you know, help to ring it in couple, you know, of those bad guys' ears? If at least one of them, maybe at least one will listen and say, no, John, no, the wrong track with the difference still. Imagine, you know, one person preach, but if it's even one cocoa,
right,
little by little.
To be fair as well, you know, one cocoa food basket, like you say.
Oh yeah.
But you know, crime, since Cain and Abel, brother kill one another.
Exactly.
You see what I mean?
It has been, and they are brothers, So
right. If you look at the Bible, look at Rachel and was it Esther? I can't remember their name now, but you know, there's always been adultery, violence, you know.
It has always been hidden also. They hide it. They hid it back then because now a lot of people are seeing it and thinking, you know, this is just happening. It's not. I remember when I used to hear, you know, explicit lyrics and people were talking about it, I said it's coming from a long time, because I remember I was doing this when Max Romeo was doing a remake of some of his songs. Went into the studio and one of the songs, Lie Down Girl with me, I'm like, what, Max? Oh, Max. It's a very nice song. I said, okay, sir. And I said, that is from the 60s. He did a song back then. I remember he said it was banned in England, even though it was #1. I said, I'm confused. So they explicit songs way back then. A lot of us now thinking, oh, this is something new. No, it's not. They just covered it up back real good then compared to now. Now it's just out there.
Well, I think once it gotten into 90s R&B, that's when it was quite, you know, the 90s was the boom era for music. It was the era for music creativity, you know. We had so much. We had rap coming into the mainstream. We had dancehall coming into the mainstream.
Exactly.
You know, it was
the soca, everything.
Everything.
Steady.
The 90s. A time is gonna come, and we're gonna love this, and we're gonna love that time just as much. Like
exactly.
You know, we had an opportunity to reset over the last couple of years, you know. And I don't know. I have a feeling inside that things are gonna turn for the best.
I have that feeling sometimes, but the thing is, with the feeling inside, sometimes you have it, and there comes Mr. Doubt, Mr. Negative, trying to cloud your mind, and you're like, yo, look here, back off, just back off, just move. Because you're here feeling good about yourself. You don't have this, you don't have that, but you appreciate and you're going through life, and there they come. And the more you appreciate, the more you feel good, is the more they try to come and cloud you. So you have to find that strength. I don't know how to tell you. You just have to pray. You just have to keep faith and continue to fight it. The minute you give up, that's when they win. That's it.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
You continue to fight, you get fed up and just leave you alone. That's
all right. So I really want to do some name drops, right? Because you haven't really done any name drop. So I'm just gonna pick up the little piece of paper where you have. And
yes.
All right. So where are we? So all right. So while working for Hyphens, you were performing with artists. I'm just gonna read it how you wrote it. Paul Elliott.
Yes.
John Mason. I have a special place in my heart for John Mason. I met him on a plane. Luton Fire.
Yes, John Mason is very. Yes.
Phantom
all of
Moja.
them. Yes.
Glenn Washington. Oh my gosh, from
Glenn Washington, Warrior King. I remember Warrior King. I did the background vocals for his song, the popular song that made him Shuba Shuba. And that young man, everywhere I go, oh, I should do the song name Shuba Shuba, should do the harmony for me. I'm like, he haven't forgot, he not forget. Everywhere I go, him tell her, she do it, you know what, you're right, make sure think for them. I say, all right, yes, he appreciate from more than 10 years ago, and he not forget.
No.
That's why it was a little while, you know, because wherever the gig is that you call me, I'm there. Luton again for stage. Jamaican again for stage. They call me, Sophia, available? Yes, boom. You're available for this too? Yes. I don't turn down work. And I'm not late. I'm never late. I never will be late because it's a business. It's a business and it represents me. No, I don't play that game.
Right. Andy Livingston.
Pardon me?
Andy Livingston.
Yes. Most of Andy Livingston, I think it was recording, not stage, but some are recording, some are stages.
Yeah, okay. Richie Spice you've worked with.
Yes, I've done recordings for him for Snow Cone Productions. Yes.
All right. How proud of you are Richie Spice, because he seems to be a man that knows how to he's out to the light.
Oh.
He's out to the light.
I think he's a little bit shy and modest, and that's what I think I like about him. He has a great voice, and he just creeps upon you like the Smirnoff Ice. I think that won't do anything, and it just knock you in like that. I remember I was in Europe at the time, and they said, this is a show with Richie Spice. And he was jumping and dancing. I said, this is Richie, let me look good. Mr. Can't quiet Richie Spice that time. I said, oh, you mean? I am proud when I see artists on stage and I jump and yes, because they are representing Jamaica. That's where I'm from. Why not? Reggae, why not? If you just bust your chest and say, yeah, my artist that, you have to be proud of them.
Listen, you talk about jumping on stage. Luciano.
Yes, there are a few of them. I think they are kind of acrobatic artists. Luciano, Elephant Man, but Lieutenant Stitchy, I remember and I guess got frozen for that few seconds to take the picture because there's no way he could jump that high. He was up on the legs and I said, like, the heck? Listen, they have energy and the crowd likes a performance. You can come with certain songs you're supposed to be singing and be quiet and the audience react, but some of the thing you have to do sometime and run up and down, back and forth the stage for the audience like, what the heck? This is talk to my girl. This is going. Yo, you're so that's what they like. So you and the audience are working, the vibes nice. Everybody enjoy themselves. The patrons can go and talk about the show. Yo, so what's Stitch going on? So yo man, bad man. Yo, I told me sorry I never did it. And now keep it next year. Yeah, after that, make sure to listen to my girl after that. That's always supposed to, support each other. Instead of me not care you gone out, she'll call anytime you come back from Ghana, you want to outdress me, whatever. I don't care. As long as you're comfortable, because that's one thing I learned. I kind of learned it the hard way, not in a bad way. Be comfortable on stage. I am there going in my high spiky to do what? I can't balance on stage while singing. I can't balance. I cannot balance. I am not balanced. So I say, you know what? The wedge heel works. Let me work with the wedge heel. Or sometimes, if it's the show is before, I will take off the wedge heel and say, I'm flat. I'm good. Be comfortable. Be free. Your clothes for free. Everything. Be comfy instead of being on stage and fixing and, and yes. No. You don't have the time for that. You go. Just go and perform. That's what the performance is about. Yes.
Yeah, sorry. All right. So, like I said, Sophia Squire, thank you so much. I like this is just been like I like you can see I'm glowing. I'm like so excited, like you know.
You glow naturally. You glow naturally. It just turn up. I just turn up.
I'd go a bit hard with the eyeshadow today, but I'm saying it's Sophia
Squire. Just be yourself, man. If that's all artists have to do, it's not about why the hair good, yeah man, the hair good. I'm not saying you shouldn't, but it's not all about the this, the that, and if the eyebrow in line, one go off and say, all right, something wrong with her, she missed one this morning, or whatever. That's okay. It's okay. It's okay to be not okay.
Right.
It's okay.
Right. So I mean, I've come into my last questions now, and these questions, it's a general question that I ask everybody. I started off asking if you could be mentored by somebody, who would it be? But now it's kind of evolved. If you could speak to anybody, who would it be?
I've been mentored by everybody. I can't pinpoint one person, because if I grew up learning the Gregory Isaacs and the Max Romeo, when I heard War in a Babylon first, that song that he did, I heard it on the radio. So I get a little of Gregory, a little of Max, a little of Marcia Griffith, a little of I-Trees, a little of, and I'm like, when people ask me, who's your favorite artist? I don't know. How can I choose from, people give you all of this nice treat, you know, like pastries. Which one you choose? They're all good. So you take a little from this, a little from this, and you enjoy a little from each of them. So that's it. I've been mentored by, mainly, I would say by my parents, who basically bring me up to be the person who I am, you know, to make choices, to be fair, you know, to be positive. That's the main thing. But the music, it's every one of them. Even if I hear a song that's the, you know, that I don't like the lyrical content or whatever, not just say, maybe I can learn something from this. I never twist it and turns, good idea. And I can gain something from that. So there's no, I'm not going to say there's no negative energy when it comes to music. There can be, but you have to just try to, you know, twist it in a positive way.
All right.
Twist it in a positive way.
All right. Now, but then, is there anybody who you haven't spoken to before who you really would like to have a conversation with?
I don't even know, because I mean, I admire them all. I don't get extra excited, like, oh, never see you. Like, please, yeah, human just like me. But your music is really good, though. Your music is really good, but like that connection. So just about anybody who chemistry decide, or who the creator of the earth decide, say, I want you to work this song with you. Are you sure? Yep. I'll fuse it together. I'm willing.
All right. Thank you. That's a nice answer too. That's a nice answer too. I like when I get those answers.
Just kind of leave it.
You know?
Yes.
All right. So your motto, and you display it, you walk with it. Your motto is live, love, and let peace reign.
Exactly so. Live, love, and let peace reign.
I believe
all the time. All the time. You can't go wrong. Because sometimes instead of with someone, just let it go and just let it go. Forget it. Just let go and let God. Let go and let God. Sometimes, I mean, sometimes you have to really stand up for whatever, but just let go. Because sometimes you let go, it's kind of more peaceful instead of you going back and forth, and it creates another avalanche of, you know, arguments or whatever. Just let it go.
Sophia Squire, what is your message that you're sending to the world?
Living life to the fullest. Living life. Just live. Just live. You can't go wrong. Not try to be who you're not. Don't try to, you know, live above your means, things like that. Just live. Live, take each day, you know, each separate, one day at a time, as the song would say. But yeah, that's just basically it. Because there's no valuable lesson that I can leave that will cover everything. There are just valuable lines, a bunch of them. So just live life and keep smiling. Even if you don't have no teeth or you have gap like me right here, just live life. Just live life. Can't go wrong.
And I must say, I heard your song with Taurus Riley, and I love it also.
That song, Boss It, Boss It.
That's just one of them. That's just one of them. And I'm sitting down here saying, which one should I tell her about? Because time I run.
Okay,
But
there's a lot of them.
you have so much music.
Put like a reverb on it. Bass line kicking. That's how because while I start to write, the thing is, I remember I was on my way to the bathroom, the rhythm was playing, and as I come out, I hear the bust it. I'm like, okay, put like a reverb on it, and I'm in a musical bass line kicking. Yeah, but there, I'm pretending like, oh, this vibe so nice. It can't ever run out. Oh, this vibe so sweet. Just turn up the volume. Do nobody turn it down. And again, there's a radio in my head. Melodies surround me every day. There's no escape. Flows through my heart. I'm amazed. I must say, I can't live without you, which is fact. I can't live without the music. If I ever try, the music would just drip up and say, "Hey, girl, go back in the song." Yeah, and there's another one I did. Island Love for a general degree. Give me the island type of love, Caribbean type of love. It actually came about because of degree. He had the idea. He said, Sophia, bam, 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 1, 2, boom, 2 artists connect, chemistry work. And it actually worked. And so there's more. There's always going to be more. So I'm going to leave them confused. So by the time anybody forget to me, I said, Jano.
yeah, nobody can try to sit down and pick it. Right now you have 30 of them out there just from the last maybe 1 year, no?
Yes, that's true. I'm still recording. I do have pending recording. I do have a lot of songs that aren't, out yet. So
all right, since the internet are going bad, we just gotta tell the internet we're gonna leave it and let God, yeah?
Yes, all right.
But thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you. I really
Same here. And one of the greatest things. I'm sorry. One of the greatest things about doing an interview is being myself. So I'm good. And I'm on all social media platforms. The name spelling is SOPHIA SQUIRE. Once you type it into Google gonna say, oh, she even know her man right there. So boom, bam, bam. Everything there. Everything is there. Yeah, Google know me like that, yeah.
I really appreciate it. And like I said, thank you so much for blessing Love Talk.
Thank you too. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Take care.
Yeah, man, let peace, love, man. One love all the time. Thank you so much.
Right. What's your
saying? And keep singing.
Me? I don't sing.
Keep singing.
I will continue to sing, but I don't have the voice for it. But my sister.
You hear what you just said? You're going to continue to sing, but you don't have the voice. You don't need a voice. Just continue to sing. You don't need it. You can't, man.
All the neighbors them know about me already. When me start singing at the shower, me just hear a man from the street a ball out, shut up.
I used to tell that to my sisters who can't sing too. I tell them, say, this is not me, this thing like that. All right, thanks so much for having me.
Take care.
My pleasure. All right, thank you. Bye.
Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe so you can be notified about future interviews. Have a lovely day. If you would like to promote your music on Love Radio, please find us at www.luvradio.co.uk